Shalom. We have come now to Psalm 37, a rather long psalm of 40 verses written in acrostic and alphabetical order. I will read you the entire psalm because even though it is lengthy, I want you to get a feeling of the flow of the psalm and what the psalmist has in mind and some of the emotions that the psalmist is struggling with. Of David. Do not be vexed by evil men. Do not be incensed by wrongdoers, for they soon wither like grass, like verdure fade away. Trust in the Lord and do good. Abide in the land and remain loyal. Seek the favor of the Lord, and he will grant you the desires of your heart. Leave all to the Lord. Trust in him. He will do it. He will cause your vindication to shine forth like the light, the justice of your case like the noonday sun. Be patient and wait for the Lord. Do not be vexed by the prospering man who carries out his schemes. Give up anger. Abandon fury. Do not be vexed. It can only do harm. For evil men will be cut off, but those who look to the Lord, they shall inherit the land. A little longer, and there will be no wicked man, for you will look at where he was, he will be gone. But the lowly shall inherit the land and delight in abundant well-being. The wicked man schemes against the righteous and gnashes his teeth at him. The Lord laughs at him, for he knows that his day has come, will come. The wicked draw their swords, bend their bows, to bring down the lowly and needy, to slaughter upright men. Their swords shall pierce their own hearts, and their bows shall be broken. Better the little that the righteous man has than the great abundance of the wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord is the support of the righteous. The Lord is concerned for the needs of the blameless. Their portion lasts forever. They shall not come to grief in bad times. In famine they shall eat their fill. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be consumed, like meadow grass consumed in smoke. The wicked man borrows and does not repay. The righteous is generous and keeps giving. Those blessed by him shall inherit the land, but those cursed by him shall be cut off. The steps of a man are made firm by the Lord when he delights in his way. Though he stumbles, he does not fall down, for the Lord gives him support. I have been young and am now old, but I have never seen a righteous man abandoned, or his children seeking bread. He is always generous and lends, and his children are held blessed. Shun evil and do good, and you shall abide forever. For the Lord loves what is right. He does not abandon his faithful ones. They are preserved forever, while the children of the wicked will be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land and abide forever in it. The mouth of the righteous utter wisdom, and his tongue speaks what is right. The teaching of his God is in his heart. His feet do not slip. The wicked watches for the righteous, seeking to put him to death. The Lord will not abandon him to his power. He will not let him be condemned in judgment. Look to the Lord and keep to his way, and he will raise you high that you may inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, you shall see it. I saw a wicked man, powerful, well-rooted like a robust native tree. Suddenly he vanished and was gone. I sought him, but he was not to be found. Mark the blameless, note the upright, for there is a future for the man of integrity. But transgressors shall be utterly destroyed. The future of the wicked shall be cut off. The deliverance of the righteous comes from the Lord, their stronghold in time of trouble. The Lord helps them and rescues them from the wicked and delivers them, for they seek refuge in him. If you catch a tone of some disjointedness in this psalm, some choppiness, it has to do, I think, with the fact that it is an acrostic psalm, and the author was trying to fit and come up with verses that corresponded with the letters of the Hebrew aleph-bet or alphabet, so that the first letter of each line would correspond to the next letter in the alphabet in progression. Nevertheless, the psalmist seems to sway between the themes of the just and upright person whose efforts will endure forever, because such a person is aligned with God and God's Spirit, which in itself is eternal. And that is contrasted with the ephemeral nature of the wicked, of the person who may carry out his schemes and be successful as a result, prosperous, that is, successful materially, but his efforts will not last, and his status will be transient and transitory. He will fade, he will eventually disappear, while the deeds of the righteous will go on forever, and the righteous person will remain planted in a kind of eternal meaning and eternal value. The psalmist urges us to give up anger, abandon fury, do not be vexed. And he mentions the word vexed 3 times in this psalm. He's urging us not to give in to anger, to avoid frustration at the fact that there are so many evil people who seem to prosper in the world. But in the end, their efforts will not last. They will fade away. Just like that wicked person who the psalmist compares to a well-rooted, robust native tree, but that tree suddenly vanished and all trace of it was gone. The psalmist tells us, do not give in to anger, do not give in to vexation. It cannot be in any way healthy for us to do so. It is spiritually dangerous for us to sit with and live with this vexation for too long, because we will only be entrapped by it, and we will be sucked in by our anger and our negativity. The psalmist adds a verse that is included near the end of every Birkat Hamazon, grace after meals prayer that we recite. The verse is, Na'ar hayiti v'gam zakanti, I have been young and I am now old, but I have never seen, v'lo ra'iti tzadik ne'ezav, I have never seen a righteous man abandoned, or his children seeking bread, v'zaro mivakesh lachem, because of this reference to food, to bread. This verse is included near the end of the Grace After Meals to remind us that after we have been satisfied with our meal, we remember that through our life experience, even though we may be old in years, and even though we have seen so much experience, and even though we have seen how things can be unfair, and how wicked and scheming people can appear to prosper, nevertheless, through all that, the psalmist reminds us, though he may be old, he has never seen a righteous man abandoned by God. God will always rise and stand by the side of the righteous person, and the children of that righteous person will not seek bread, but will be able to be provided with ample sustenance. Maybe we can understand that bread as being something beyond physical sustenance and something spiritual as well. The righteous man and his progeny understood as having spiritual sustenance that carries from one generation to the next. Don't give in to vexation. Don't get sucked in by the negativity. Remember that all of our positive efforts, all the good things we do, will bear eternal and permanent fruit.